It's not whether we march or not, it's that we occupy. And the important thing for everybody here is that we've started and we're here. What's important is that next week we bring 10 people each. So that next week we don't occupy this little part of Andrew Square, we occupy more of it. The following week
people are annoyed at the state of the world. Fundamentally, people are fed up with the state of the world and they think that there's a better way to run it. And whilst the vast majority of people think this, what this is just it bubbling to the surface and taking a visible form. People trying to create a movement to actually create change in the world so that we can have a better way of running society as opposed to the exploitative way that we've had it running so far.
This is the largest student but also just general protest since 1968, and it is around the world, the 1,000 occupations, and that is, I think, what is important about this, around the world.
As far as I can make out from reading a bit about politics, a bit about economics and a bit about science, the systems that we run our world by just now are not for the people. They're not made in the interest of improving people's lives. They're made in the interest of profit. And now there's a very good reason behind that, and I can understand the logic. But fundamentally, it means that people aren't producing goods. People aren't creating a culture in which we can live happily. I'm here personally because I have the time and the commitment to give to this. You know, I'm a student and I don't have a lot of hours a week, and I'm also one of the people who have benefited from the exploitative world. I'm very consciously aware that though I'm here by myself, I'm not here representing just myself, because there is an enormous number of people who can't be here in person, and due to physical disability, due to mental disability, due to age, due to whatever particular reason they have. But they wish to be here, they wish to show their expression of rage at the state of the world, and this is my way of attempting to, you know, represent that. And also to represent my own views, because, you know, as the best science tells us, we're not running our world in a people-friendly way. So I can attempt to do something about that.
As a student, I'd like to be here in solidarity with all the other people around the world that need protection from the banks, from the corporations, from the governments that are, in essence, changing and warping the way that people live.
I'm not entirely convinced on the best systematic way to run your society, but the concepts by which it should be run should be based on giving people control of their own lives. Because at the moment, the main reason the system doesn't work is because the vast majority of people are alienated from the core decisions that define your life. So, for instance, where does food come from? You know, what do I spend my days doing? I am talking about work here. I'm talking about, you know, lifetime. So my ideal form of government would be a way that forced people to engage with the things that really mattered in life, and this would be by supplying the basic needs of the people. So whatever particular political system that goes along, I'm actually impartial, but that's my main thoughts on it.
I think a form of government that would serve the people would first of all need to be bottom up. It would need direct representation in the democratic system, which sounds like a contradiction because that is what the democratic system should be about. But I think we have lost that. We have lost the power of direct human representation in politics.
I think we established that we come back here St Andrews inevitably to camp, so what do people think about George Street?
There's banks, yes.
So a bank?
Turn around, ask them.
Turn around and ask what's behind you.
Largest financial district?
Ask them.
Behind you.
Turn around and ask the people behind you as well.
What do you think?
I think that the majority of people are aware of what's going on right now. Especially from doing this particular protest here, what has struck me is that the vast majority of people who come by here just want to say well done for what you're doing, because they are aware. If they don't know the particular statistics, what they are aware of is that there's people out there who seem to be rewarded for running banks into the ground. So I think the vast majority of people are aware of the inequalities inherent in the system, and the reason they're not here right now is because they don't think it's their job to do anything. This is one of my pet peeves is about representative democracy. Is it makes people passive rather than active. And if you're active in taking control of your own life, then you would be down here, but you're not. You choose somebody else to make these decisions. So hopefully we can convince people to make that transition to making the decisions for them.
If we really want to build this movement, we need to stay here, build a base of operations where people can come, speak to us. We have a face-to-face presence, not just on the internet, not just a 1 hour march where we listen to speakers, go home, feel like we've done something. We need to stay here, speak to people, make our presence felt. And to do that, we need to organise. We need people to bring tents, we need people to sort out food, we need people to sort out water. We don't need people coming up here talking about their own little political agendas that they're trying to get people to join. We need to be united, and we need to make this place, take this square, and make it our camp and base of operations.
People think that the majority of people in this country, as we go in particular, so that's the UK, are apathetic. And I always like to use the term alienation rather than apathy, because people aren't apathetic about what happens in their life. They just don't think they have control. And I think the mechanisms that make people apathetic are inherent in the systems that we have, and that's not just representative democracy, but it's the same in a consumer culture where it's not your decision, for instance, what your walls look like, it's which posters you would choose to buy. These are just little things which make you a passive consumer as opposed to an active doer.
So the more educated we become about our own minds and our own unconscious minds, the less easy it is to manipulate us. You can see through. I started looking at newspapers and I can see the manipulation stroke by stroke, which I never did before. I can remember being asleep. This is the crazy thing. You wake up and you can remember. I can remember being in London, looking at the protests in Parliament Square, going, what are they doing? I don't get it. I just get on with a job. Now I understand.
If we are here today, it's because we know that something in this system is wrong. But what is the solution? Every one of you has a different solution for this situation. We have to find one solution. And we want to support it. We don't need to divide in different solutions. We want to be united. This is the case. This is the case. We need to be united.
Well, what people want has to change. We need to take responsibility of what we put in our bodies, what we put in our minds, what we put in our voices, and what we do in the world. So it's like starting to tie up these things. The one most powerful thing that I can give you is to say, how are you feeling? Ask yourself, how are you feeling? What do you feel? And allow yourself to feel the sensation of that feeling and embrace the sensation of that feeling. It's been the most powerful thing I have ever done, to unearth some of my unconscious stuff and bring it, look at it in the light. Because there's a lot of dirt, and it's not all government's fault. There's a lot of dirt that we need to unearth, you know, both inner and outer. And it's going to be a long haul because there's a lot of it. There's a lot of it. But we will get there. So love yourselves and each other.